Hey, look, Doug's flying.
Me brother.
I was known as the awkward kid in my schools.
Oh, I'm stuck. God, get up.
Most importantly, are you ready to be a reinventor? Howdy, hey everyone, and how are you all doing today? Man, it's like every time I'm feeling good, then I'm back to feeling ugh. They not like us. They not like us. They not like us indeed. What's up, bro? How you doing? But yeah, every time I'm feeling good, I just feel kind of iffy. I think it has something to do with the weather now. Because I'm not around anybody that's sick. I think it has something to do with the constant change in weather. Like just today, it just started to snow. But anyway, I don't want to waste any time. Let's do this. If you all haven't already, I'll go ahead and remind you all to please follow me on Yashahu, which is Red Note. I'm actually starting to grow a following there. I have over 50 plus followers. On Clapper, I have 100 followers. And what else? And on Instagram, it's growing slowly, but thank you, Nuka, for this, this wonderful idea. I will now start doing reels on Instagram. So I just uploaded mine and oh, huh. That's kind of strange how the interesting. Okay. One sec, I need to fix this because I don't like how this one turned out. I don't like the resolution and everything. So I'm gonna have to yeet this and just re-upload it. Because if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this right. I'm not just gonna let Instagram say, oh yeah, you should do it this way. No, I'm gonna do this right. There we go. I just didn't do it by 9:16. Goober. All right, there we go. I'm about to go ahead and post that real quick. But anyway, how are you all doing today? Why don't I get all this set up? Settle. Okay, and oh, I forgot to add a location. And share. Okay, so yeah, my Instagram is still Wilgins YY, and that's pretty much constantly being updated. So I used to do like these posts where it's just static, old school Instagram, but now I have I'm now going to do like video reels, and I've noticed that that's been helping me out too. I want to thank Fi as well for her endless support. A fellow new possum friend of mine. And yeah, so make sure you check those out. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. This stream is going to be interesting because again, shout out to Lalix and her crew. If you need some help with working out, they are there for y'all. It's just Twitch TV /LAHYX. Been following them for a good 2 years. And I finally got to hear her voice. So that was interesting because I was in an instance with her and her friends. So that was interesting. And then I met someone by the name of Eliet, fellow Texan. And we had a nice, adult, mature conversation, about Canada and our thoughts on Canada being a 51st state. And then divulged from that to just talking about movies. And then we talked about the worst anime ever. I was like, what is Garzey? Garzey Wing. So I checked this out, nearly almost lost my mind. But myself and another, new lad of mine by the name of Biznuts, we got through it. Well, they got through, to the 30-minute mark. I got through the whole pretty much somewhat 2 hours. It was only 3 episodes, no OVA, which it desperately needed. And yeah, so for those of you who don't know what Garzey Sky is, or Garzey, Wing is, well, let me just go ahead and give y'all a quick overview of what Garzey Wing. So pretty much, If I can just find it real quick so I can tell you all what it's about. Garzey. Garzey wing. Garzey wing is about the following. So thank you, Wikipedia, and all of your sources from Anime News Network, XEX, the review and info, and Garzey's wing for Anime News Network. Not a lot of not a lot of references. So here we go. Oh, Garzey behind the voice actors retrieved from July 9th of 2020. All right, so here we go. The protagonist, Chris, is abruptly whisked away to a parallel world called Byston Well. While his physical body remains in his home world, in Byston Well, Chris' spiritual manifestation is thrust into a rebellion. Chris is told that he has a mystical power called Garzey's Wing, which causes large wings made of light to come out of his ankles, allowing him to fly and to run quickly. Already we have a problem with this plot, because we don't know what any of this is. Chris is told to fight against slave owners in the king's army as the slaves of the Mitumius tribe make their escape from the palace at Izumito. The Shigaba army fights back with horses, bows, and dinosaur-like creatures called war beasts. I wonder if this is some inspiration to Monster Hunter. I wouldn't be surprised. The series centers around the slaves' escape, the conflict between the king's army and the slaves, as well as Chris' struggle to make sense of his convoluted situation. Chris exists simultaneously in Bison Well in the real world. The two can communicate to each other through a necklace they both wear. Real world, Chris feels the bruises and pain Bison Well Chris experiences while fighting soldiers. And training he does in the real world allow him to learn in Bison's Well. While one Chris in Bison's Well surrounded by 12th and 13th century foreigners being chased by a real army, Earth Chris and must do chi exercise to strengthen his mind. In the end, Chris fights off the army, saves Bison Well, but his spirit remains there. Meanwhile, in the real world, Chris gains the power of Garzey's Wing himself. This sounds cool, right? It's garbage. It's actually one of the worst animes I've seen. However, this can be fixed. So what we're going to do here is simply this. I am going to actually share with you all the anime, right? But I'm not going to like have any sound playing except pretty much the voice recording. And I want you all to just visualize. All right. I want you to all visualize. Sorry. As you're seeing all this, I want you to just visualize everything that I'm saying and then think to yourself, what if? What if the anime was like this instead? Because when at first glance, it looks pretty good. It looks pretty awesome. You're like, oh man, this looks great. You know, the premise looks nice. But let's go ahead because everyone's saying it's the worst anime ever. It's incomprehensible. You know, how can anyone, figure this out? I was just messaging Eliet today, and I had to do a voice recording because it's a lot that I really need to talk to him about. And yeah, so let's go ahead and get started. So reinventors, ready to go to these 4 years ahead with me? You're ready to continue the reinvention process? I am. This is gonna be a doozy. So grab your popcorn, grab your snacks. No, I'm serious because hopefully my explanation isn't too long. It should be less than an hour. So this will be done in voice recording format. And while this is going on, I am possibly going to get something to eat because I need to. I just woke up. Alrighty, so let's begin. But before we get started, I would like to go ahead and talk about today's sponsor, which is Sunsama. Simply enough, all you do is just type in sunsama.org or .com, and you just simply just do the following. You go there, you sign up for the 14-day free trial, and you just come up with your own schedule. And it's so easy because there's so much app integration. So let's just say you need to eat, exercise, and work. You just simply type that in, you drag it, you go into the, let's see, for me personally, I go to Google Calendar, click on that on the right side, you click and drag it, and bam, there goes your schedule. You're done. That's it. And there's also an app on it too on your phone. And and it pretty much makes it easier because whatever you put on your PC, also syncs up to your app. So go ahead and sign up, 14-day free trial. Unfortunately, there is no promo code yet, but who knows? Maybe that will happen. But I just want to once again say thank you, Sunsama, once again for supporting the streams and just for simply, finding me and liking my content. So appreciate it. So download Sun Sama today because trust me, we all have hectic schedules that we're trying to, balance out. And you're probably thinking to yourself, son, I don't know what that is. Well, you're in luck. I think it's bam, look at that. There it is right there. See, I came prepared. So there you go. www.sunsama.com. That's www.sunsama.com. And of course, we are going to make sure that we continue this, wonderful month with Black History Month. So bear with me as I read to you all three amazing, fantastic Black Americans. Harriet Jacobs, writer, from 1813 to 1897. Born a slave, her mother died when she was 6. She moved in with her late mother slave owner, who taught her to sew and read. In 1842, she got a chance to escape to Philadelphia, aided by activists of the Philadelphia Vigilance Committee. She took in and worked as a nanny in New York. Her former owners hunted for her until her freedom was finally bought in 1852. She secretly began to write an autobiography, which was published in the United States in 1860 and England in 1861. She lived the rest of her life as an abolitionist, dedicated to helping escaped slaves and eventually freedom. Cecil B. Moore, lawyer, 1950 to 1979. Moore was a Philadelphia lawyer and civil rights activist who led the fight to and successfully integrate Girard College. He served as a Marine in World War II, and after his honorary discharge, he moved to Philadelphia to study law at Temple University. He quickly earned a reputation as a no-nonsense lawyer who fought on behalf of his mostly poor Black clients concentrated in North Philadelphia. From 1963 to 1967, he served as president of the Philadelphia chapter of the NAACP and served on the Philadelphia City Council. Moore is cited as a pivotal figure in the fields of social justice and race relations. He has an entire neighborhood named after him in the North Philadelphia area. And last but not least for today, Bayard Rustin, civil rights activist from 1912 to 1987. Born in Westchester, Pennsylvania, I believe? Guess that. Yeah, it's Pennsylvania. Bayard Rustin was an American leader in social movements for civil rights, socialism, nonviolence, and gay rights. He was a key advisor to Martin Luther King Jr. in the 1960s and was posthumously awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom in 2013. Rustin has local ties as he was born in Westchester and attended Cheney University of Pennsylvania, historically Black college, a gay man. And he adopted his partner to protect their rights and legacy. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, so with all that being said, let us begin. But before we do, I have a quote for you all. And this quote reads, "In the entertainment industry of all spectrums, there is no such thing as a bad idea. Failure comes from bad execution and lack of effective communication." By the way, Yang Ye just posted a video stating about how Warner Brothers is in trouble. So the irony, huh? Anyway, let's get started. Y'all waited long enough. So I'm going to go ahead and get this going. Garzey wing. Ooh boy. This is going to be a doozy. You all are going to be in for a big surprise. So just bear with me here as I get everything organized. Now you're probably thinking to yourself, well, we want to hear it. We want to hear it. No, you're not going to hear it. You're going to hear me. And trust me, you'll thank me later. If you want to watch it yourself while listening to the stream, I will gladly go ahead and send you the link. And there you go. So you're all good. Let's do this. And let us begin. And if you all make it towards the end, I have a special surprise sneak peek for you all. So without further ado, let's get started. And once again, I want to thank Eliet, Laylick's good friend. Again, make sure y'all check out Laylick's on Twitch. Help her get to partner to help promote the importance of fitness throughout this day. So we can go ahead and get started. My version of the story starts off really slow. We'll start to see, how would I put this? You're going to see just pretty much evolution in nature since this anime takes place way before our time. And, you'll see nature, you'll see, the animals, just doing their thing with nature. Beautiful Japanese style esque music with a little bit of Roman, and you'll just see the people just living their lives, and you will see, you know, credits and whatnot, and then there'll be narration as this older man, who, spoiler alert, is the grandpa of the main character, is pretty much stating their view on life and about their view on angels and just about just everything. It's just a really deep monologue, just really just encapsulating you on this story. It talks about war, it talks about peace, and trust me, it will be short, but it will be very impactful. Go into the store, and you see the store owner, who's about to close, and you see the mother. The mother, is just pleading, just saying, hey, please, please, I really need this medicine. Because again, main character has an incurable disease, and the only way that she can constantly get this get this medicine is from, the store owner, who happens to be a pharmacist. So, pharmacist getting pretty tired of always constantly trying to help, because he could technically lose his job because it's an experimental drug, because they're trying to, figure out, do a legal matter with his own pharmaceutical team on how they can, solve this cure. That's honestly somewhat, comparable to, as today we'll call it, COVID or whatnot. So goes in, he closes shop, and, he makes the medicine, and everything, and he gives it to her, and he warns her that if you constantly keep doing this without actually following my procedure, not actually following actual doctor's orders, terrible things could happen, So she just saying, thank you, and all that stuff in Japanese, and then she goes and she drives home, and she sees her son. Hey, the main character, right? And son's just being a good person, just reading a book and whatnot. And she walks up to the son saying, hey, how's school and everything? And he just simply remains a little quiet, just kind of nods, because, our hero's kind of like mute, because, that's just Sunday. He's not really feeling good. He starts to shake. So she says, come on, it's time to take your medicine. He's a little defiant because he doesn't like the taste of it, but he knows that it makes him feel better. So he's reading his book while also, like having a TV in the background, because, character has ADHD. Again, back then, they didn't know what ADHD was. This is like the old, so like those other, maybe like, I don't know, maybe a radio or something. And, she picks him up, lays in the bed, hums a sweet tune, rocks him to sleep. Understand that this kid is like, what, 4 or 5 years old? And as, she's giving him the medicine, right? That's when he starts to go to sleep. And as he goes to sleep, the mother's like, trying to clean everything. That's when we start to go transition to the other scene, right? Garzey's sky and everything, where we start to see this kid, pretty much in the same situation, but in a different time period. Except, similar situation. He's sick, incurable disease, and the father, is at war by orders of the king that, they have to do this because they need to pillage land. So this is part one, okay? I promise I'll try to wrap this up. Part two, all right? So you got war, got the orders, and then, of course, it transitions from, the kid who's just doing the same thing as the kid. So just transition from, the kid, having issues, with his disability, while also, spending time with his father. Because, see, here's the thing. In the past timeline, the other timeline where, the Garzey Wing storyline, he has mother and father. In the left, he has a mother and father, but the father is out in an actual war, out, fighting, with the U.S. or whatever, allied with them. And of course, Japan, again, gotta understand, old times, consider him a traitor because, like, oh, how dare you, side with the Americans and everything. And we transition to some scenes where, he's in the war, he's communicating with the Americans, he's trying to teach the Americans. Of course, the Americans are kind of a little racial towards him because, again, different time period. And we just see this back and forth, and then the scenes where the mother is, working, and again, there's like certain important characters. This may be slow, but there's a lot of emotion to it. We learn more about the character. We learn more about the mother, the mother trying to, make her life. The interaction that the mother has with her friend. Now you're probably thinking, wow, this is really, really long. Yes, because the first episode will have to be an OVA, at least an hour or something long, where it has some emotion. We see stuff that goes on between the main character, the mother, and the father, just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. We see scenes where the main character, starts to make friends. We see, he gets a little bully because of his disability and whatnot, but, turns out, yes, like I see gift, he's a little bit strong, engaging in fights. When he engages in fights, it triggers his disease. When the kid, from the other side, starts to, hunt and everything with his father, after, so long, he starts to, the disease gets triggered. So we see these back and forth scenes. It's done beautifully, lots of transition, and then bam, all of a sudden, because again, we'll see a transition with the quote unquote main villain, because it turns out he's not a villain. He's a tragic hero turned villain where he's just minding his own business and his land gets pillaged. So, and ironic enough, this goes to the guys of the main villains. As a kid, I seen his own father and his own people get slaughtered, which does make him angry. And then we see the guys, we see the scenario where, he sees, his father get severely injured. So it's just all of this. And also, it turns out that the mother, right, the one that constantly keeps giving him medicine and whatnot, is actually, a nurse in training. And this pharmacist and whatnot, at one point, actually had a crush on her, almost tried to manipulate her, saying, oh, I really like her. But once he learned that, hey, she's dating and everything, at first he didn't care, but then he's like, wait a minute, this doesn't feel right. I shouldn't be using her like this. Because his wife died. But do you see how there's like a lot of emotion? We see the back and forth, the dynamic between this son. Well, that would take too long. No. Because the transitions will be very simple. It will be like kind of a musical, but without the lyrics, where you'll see one scene. And then after like 5-10 minutes, transitions to another scene. So like every time something happens, there'll be a scene, transition to another scene, to another scene. But it will be done right, so it makes sense. There will even be moments when, as they both go to sleep, they'll be talking to each other in their sleep, and they have like a necklace. And the thing is, the necklace is what the grandmother made, like by hand and whatnot. That was, given, a blessing or whatnot from a congregation. And at night, right, it starts to rattle, and every time it rattles, they hear each other's voices, and sometimes they'll talk in each other's sleep, but they'll talk in a way where the mother can't hear them, so they're communicating with each other. First, it's weird because they're like, "Wait, who are you?" And they're like, "Well, who are you?" One time they wake up screaming, because they're having a nightmare. Second time, it just starts to interact where they're actually getting to know when they're like, "Oh, so that's you and that's you," and blah, blah, blah. But they don't know anything about Garzey's wing. That's pretty much explained towards the end of the OVA. So, like, it's explained slowly, and there's going to be, narration by this, this old man throughout. Not like the whole thing where it's annoying, but in a way where the scenes are needed. So after all this, and after we get to the whole war and stuff, it transitions to, just a montage of what's going on with them as they get older, as they're preparing, and that's when the kid meets. That's when the kid meets a rival, who we thought was his best friend, but was actually just someone that was somewhat jealous because he has a mother, he doesn't, because his mother's barely around, but the father's around, but the father's way too hard on him. So again, yes, there's going to be some characters added, and this may make the OVA maybe a little bit long, but again, it's needed. So how are you going to do all this in an hour, 30 minutes? So what I would do if I was to write, I would write all these scenes, and then I would pretty much do scenarios like, okay, we're going to do this scene, do this transition. And if the team says that doesn't make any sense, then we'll just kind of like have to axe out or just kind of like, summarize it so we don't lose the audience. Now, are you with me? Kid, the other kid, and then the other kid who pretty much saw his, his family get slaughtered. So there's two kids from the other, past timeline, and then there's the present timeline. Both of them, the main characters, have diseases, and the one that's like the Native American, he's the one that witnessed his, village get pillaged. So the mother, and the tribe pretty much takes him and all the other, little boys and girls, teach them how to be proud warriors to prepare for the next upcoming war, because there was a spy that pretty much secretly, works for, the king, their enemy, who gives them intel. This is what's going on. This is what's happening. They're going to pillage this. They're going to form something called capitalism. So yeah, there's going to be a little bit of politics. And then, of course, he's saying, well, I tried to, offer ideas that would promote peace, but no one will listen to me. So he's kind of like the antagonist throughout the storyline. The one that at first wants to help, but then he's like, maybe I should side with them because they're living good and I'm constantly living terribly here. Now, as all of this is going on, the main focus will still be the main character. So whatever goes on with the other characters, it will be minor but somewhat important. There will be scenes as, there'll be the little montage where they all grow up, they go through war, they go through stuff like that. And then it goes to present day where, yes, the scene where he's riding the bike and, because it turns out, he's running late to his job, which ironically enough, guess who it is? He works for the store owner of the mother, right? That he's constantly getting his medicine from it. He doesn't know this. He just refers to him as, however the Japanese, refer to older men, in respect. So he works when he works the counter, and then he does another job where he pretty much is an assistant on teaching how to sword fight. And all while being in high school. So it's just a lot. And then, of course, transitions, to the scene where something similar happens, but their schooling system is different because, different time period. They didn't really have like a school system, but they do like teach and educate. And then of course you have the the Native American, right? Who is just he's not angry, but he has like his moments of PTSD. These two never see each other, right? They'll have like moments where they like happen to like come across each other. Again, builds that suspense, like saying, "Who's that?" Because the mother. All right, I need to wrap this up because my phone's starting to get hot when I'm trying to record. Like there's moments where they like have like those moments where they see each other, they walk past each other, like I would say maybe to the store or something. Now I originally thought about, well, what if the main villain also had a counterpart in the real world, and I figured, nah, we're not going to do that because I actually kind of like the idea of like the main character and the having like these two sides of reality. He doesn't get to have that, even though the Native American is able to connect with spirits. So that will pretty much be something that will work out. Now, high schoolers, they're pretty much at that age. He leaves home, he leaves the sword training. We're talking about the main character in the present time, and he's driving, and then all of a sudden there's a police car. There's a police car that's just, trying to chase, someone else, but he thinks that they're chasing them. This is when, he realized, oh crap, I forgot to take the medicine because, I've been doing so much. And as he's being chased, and he's trying to, he's trying to ride through traffic. He's constantly getting cussed out, like saying, "Hey, watch where the F you go and everything," and whatnot. And then they realize, like, wait a minute. I said, that's a teenager. Like, what's he doing in the middle of the road? So the police officer's trying to catch this, this supposed criminal, right, for speeding and everything, driving drunk, and he doesn't know what's going on. And then as soon as he tries to escape, as soon as he tries to escape, he crashes. It's like boom, he crashes like head first into one of the cars, and he's like flying. And okay, and also something ironic happens where, the kid is just, minding his own business, from the past time, and the bully, like, I'm trying to think, throws him off of a cliff, not too steep, and then they both just happens to fall at the same time. But the spirit, the Garzey's wing, from the necklaces, they pretty much light up, and there's like this really cool transition where the wings pretty much save him. So somehow they both survive, but now they definitely have like access to one another where they can hear and talk to each other clearly. So then that's when they're like, what's this about Garzey? And then of course there's a scene where they do like research at the library, or there's a librarian that helps them. And of course, stuff like that. We're not going to do anything silly like, oh, there's this one person that's happened in Norfolk. No. Like, they're going to do their research on what Garzey Wing is. The mother will explain to like, oh, this is a fairy tale, and yada, yada, yada. And the mother will quiz them both saying, again, from different, time periods. Do you remember what I told you when you was 6 and blah, blah, blah? And then, of course, that happens. And as this happening, there's scenes, and of course there's narration like explaining that, this kid, blah, blah, his name and everything, the disease is starting to really like take over his body. As time goes on, there's like, talks from the president and everything. Hey, we're actually so close to finding this cure and yada, yada, yada. And so, and they actually do eventually, someone find a cure. Now, with all that being said, right, pretty much the OVA is over. Now we go to the episodes. And each episode pretty much consists of, it will be really short, like 12 or maybe 6 episodes where it's just the adventures where he's doing his daily life and then transition to him. They have like a heart-to-heart talk.
And, and then of course it transitions to, scenes where Native American, the kid who's now technically like 18, just full of anger, rage, frustration, but he's like a leader in training. Like he's just somebody that went from this really nice, sweet kid to just brutal, stoic, upcoming leader who just talks down on people, and he wants his own people to be stronger, and he admires his king, and his king, constantly, is just telling them about how bad, they are, what they've done, even though he doesn't really know the whole story as to why this happened. And then, of course, there'll be a scene where the king is almost assassinated. But that's when, I'm trying to think. One thing I forgot to state. In the OVA, the kid does have interactions with the fairy. The fairy, he pretty much saves the fairy. He saves, like, some of those side characters and whatnot. So, like, those side characters that are, like, constantly, like, siding with him and everything. They're the ones that talk to him about the war. He never had interest in the war because he's saying, he's kind of like a philosopher in a way, because he's learned so much because he read books. And, of course, they look at him like saying, are you silly? Do you not understand that there is a reason for war? So I do apologize I didn't explain that in part one. And then, along those lines, that's when we transition to all the craziness. But there will be, episodes where we learn about who these dragons are, who these bugs are, who how the blacksmith who made these weapons. These will be like minor parts of each episode, but they will be very important. And of course, remember that song that I sent you? That will be the anime opening, but it'll be a little bit more remixed in a way. And that's when, okay, we have all the craziness now. Now we have the fight. So fight with the bullies or whatever transitions to the fight of what's going on in the war. Because there will be like episodes where he's actually like fighting a gang by himself with his friends. And one time he loses, and the other time he loses, and each time he starts to win. So it's like, oh, snap. In the present, he's fighting. He pretty much has to deal with his disease. And in the past time, because he's saying like, hey, whatever you do when I'm in a fight, you have to pretty much go in a fight too. And he learns, well, I have bullies and stuff and gangs that constantly terrorize the school that I go to. So, we can definitely help each other out. He helps run off a gang, and they help him with the war. So it's just that constant transition. He learns about, what happens when this occurs. There's emotional scenes where he accidentally kills someone. But his past self, right, pretty much has starts to grow a thrill for killing, because he's like, well, I'm doing this for my people. I'm doing this for a better generation. So that's when we have all the crazy things. All that stuff. And it's like this constant struggle. And the mother doesn't know that he's doing this. And, his grades are slipping, and then they're starting to rise up. So it's just this constant back and forth. And his friends, saying we can't do this anymore. And then he's dealing with the same thing. He's saying, well, how can we do this? Because we have to win this war. We're the chosen ones. We're the ones that hold this power. So he learns, like, through his ancestors, through his dreams, and of course just through practice and training, like how to control his abilities, his Garzey wing abilities. So all of that and all this fighting, and of course the two, like towards the final episode, they finally confront each other. It's this big war, right? It's this big gang war. So it's the school students, the gang, and they're all fighting, and transitions to the big war, and it's just boom, boom, they're fighting. But instead, he's learned that, oh, wait, I don't have to kill them, Oh, and it turns out he didn't actually kill the, the bullies or whatnot. He just stunned them and like just almost, severely wounded them, where it appeared to him that he killed them. And he did this, right, to save face so he doesn't go to jail. In a way to deceive his past. I think, oh yeah, I'm a killer too. So they're over here fighting to find this epic music, like Japanese 90s rock music. And then we get to the final confrontation. Because there will be moments like towards the each anime episode where this person is the same person. It's not the same person, but someone similar that bullied this guy. And they just happen to be Native American. I don't know. Or at least some hybrid. Or actually, it could be someone that's like the same race. It doesn't matter. So they're fighting, and whatnot. It's just this epic transition. And then afterwards, we get to the final climax. So, of course, he wins. They use Garzey Sky. They both do. Like, he does a little cool Japanese kick move, and then he does the Garzey Sky move and says, boom. And then afterwards, scene where the police come saying, come out with your hands up, blah, blah, blah. And then there's a scene that this occurred. And he's saying, we'll do it. He has to like this monologue. And you'll notice that throughout the anime, you don't hear the narrator's voice anymore. And I'll get to that reason why in the last part. So remember in the scene where he holds the sword? Main character pretty much, from the present holds a knife. Character from the past holds a sword. And then someone's like encouraging him, and then someone is also telling him, wait, maybe we shouldn't do this. So he starts to have this episode, and that's when the disease starts to take place. So just when everything's about to happen, the villain pretty much tries to grab the weapon, and he says something like, war will always exist, and my people will be avenged. And they both say something like something so deep and heart-wrenching that audience like, oh my God. And then he accidentally falls, the main character falls because of the disease, stabs him. And then they have a heart-to-heart. Before he dies, and luckily, the bully doesn't die in the present, but the main villain from the past dies. So he just got stabbed like somewhere, like in his chest, but luckily he survives. And of course, he goes to jail for inciting this gang war and everything. And yeah, so pretty dark, pretty deep. And then the mother, just happens to, go to the police station and find him and transport him to the hospital and, save him. They actually find a cure. The mother, the school pretty much had the funds to help him, get the cure for this, this disease that's now somewhat treatable. That's a lot more treatable than usual. And, yeah. And of course, his people from the past, they pretty much have this emotional funeral for this young man who pretty much helped lead the war. And then that's when finally the Native Americans and of course, the other, side, they decided to hold a peace treaty, and they call it Garzey's Sky. So his abilities is still called Garzey Wings, but they call the peace treaty Garzey Sky. The Garzey Sky of, 19 something. And then that's pretty much it. Transitions where, the mother, is just doing her daily tasks, and she comes home to see her son, who is now, pretty much almost close to an adult, sitting in the bed, pretty much sleeping, recovering. And they have a nice heart-to-heart. And his supposed girlfriend comes by just to see if he's okay. Yes, because there will be a dynamic where he has like a girlfriend, son, and his friend. And it's like late at night. But, they pretty much are there to see if he's okay. Same thing happens in the past. But the past version, and yeah, there'll be like some scene where, true love's kiss and all that, but something more, very cutesy and very, romantic. Not just typical, like, oh, they get a kiss and everything. No. Because they're going to show proper respect, because, hey, mother's still in her life. So then when that happens, he decides, he says, you know what? I could go for a bike ride. And the mother's like, no, you need to rest. She's like, I'm fine. And that's when she realized, oh my goodness, I don't sense a fever in him anymore. So before, she could say anything else, he rides off. And then the mother has like this moment where she's like holding on to her chest. And she just starts reminiscing of all the good times she has. And then she's saying, just get back home safe. Again, it's not too late. It's kind of like, 6, 7 o'clock, but it's like close to nighttime. So he does have a curfew around 9 or 10 o'clock. So no, don't need to worry about that. That's pretty much what we showcase and explain. And then in this scene is beautiful where the main character is by the same cliff that he fell. And the main character is also in the same scene where, he pretty much almost got attacked. And that's when, they once again just decide to, meet each other one last time. And, during this scene, we see the older man, the one that narrates. He pretty much, narrates what happens. He sits in a chair and he has the book in his hand. And he sits there sadly, all alone, holds his wife's hand, which is a skeleton. And, granted, this man is like in his 90s or 100s. Emotional music. And afterwards, nurse comes in and sees that, like his caretaker comes in and sees that he passed away. So there's a scene where it's a transition. He rides his bike. He jumps off the car. He jumps through the car. He does like a trick on the car, wings. And he jumps through the cliff, and they're both blind. And then you see and I thought about, should I make this more symbolic or should I just make this magical, where they actually fly? And I figured, let's just make it magical because that ending was kind of goofy. So I want to at least add that. So he's flying, beautiful music. And then all of it, but of course, just so not to confuse the audience, the bike just happens to have these little wings, right? These little metal wings. Experimental, because again, he's like an inventor at heart. So he wanted to make something cool, but it actually shows the spiritual rainbow wings. And then he has the wings where he's flying, but of course it's the little wings because again he's also a little bit of inventor. And the mother's notice this and starts to panic. The mother's panicking, but starts calm, and then the mother from the presence trusting of her 17 going 18-year-old son. And then as they both transition, you see this beautiful scene where the wing goes to the left, wing goes to the right, and they're just flying. And then it's just the end. And that's my version, my reboot of what's the anime called? Garzey's Wing. And while it may not be super duper perfect and will definitely need, help with some rewriting, it's a lot better. I think the issue I would have is just trying to figure out how many episodes I can write, what my budget would be, and just figure out how I can have time to, tell more of the story of the main character while also focus on the NPCs without confusing the audience. How long will each episode be? What art style will I use? What type of atmosphere will I aim for? Because I do like the goofy nature. So I figured I want to be action, dark humor, dark humor / comedy, and while also, be suspenseful. So I feel like that would be something difficult to combine, but with the right actors and everything and the artists, it could definitely work. While also, paying respects to the 90s and the late 70s and whatnot. So there will be hints of discrimination because again, this is during a different time period and that will make sense. So if this takes place in the 70s or 60s, or if this is an ancestor, I'm guessing this will probably take place in the 1800s, or it would have to take place during the time of, Christopher Columbus, right? During a time where the Americans tried to pillage the lands of the Native Americans and claim it as theirs. So there would definitely have to be some political accuracy, not just what's taught in schools, but actually, discovered by historians, actual historians, not the famous ones, but the ones that do in-depth research. So, factor in the cost for research, factor in the cost for, on how the weapons will be made, the animations for, CGI for the Garzey wing transitions, the fight scenes. So there will be fight scenes, trying to figure out design for the gang, the one that terrorizes the school, and even is pretty much even has the government, the FBI, pretty much in shackles, because it turns out that this gang is a yakuza. So yeah, got a yakuza for the present time, pretty much, going around terrorizing, and they're very methodical and they're manipulative. And the leader, will pretty much be like the first colored leader again, because different time period. So they're like, whoa. So it would just have this plot twist, huge, amazing set of transitions, beautiful music, great action music, and designs that are pretty memorable. And of course, just for the laughs and giggles, there will literally be like homage to, um, the original idea of Garzey Wing. So like in the fight scene, there will be like, an outfit, like the similar, because I'm not gonna lie, I actually liked his battle outfit, but I figured it should be redesigned where it's like a lot cooler and more, you know, based on more cooler, more stylish, but also paying homage and respect to that specific time period. Whew. All right, so that's just my version. And instead of it being called Garzey's Wing, it'll be called Garzey's Sky, and it will be spelled different. That was a lot. Now, if I were to release this on DVD, there would be like an option where you can have alternate endings. These would be like lost scenes where, as you watch the anime, right, in the OVA, because there'll be like a DVD box set where it's like has an OVA with like, I don't know, 14 episodes, maybe 9 episodes. Because honestly, the story shouldn't be that long. It should be something around maybe 6, 7, 8-ish episodes. And it'll be the first time ever where there'll be alternate endings. So like through each, like the end of the OVA, whatnot, if you click on like the ending, and you click on the ending, and it unlocks a new path. That new path pretty much shows what would happen if this happened, and this happened, this happened. And then you pretty much will replay the anime over and over again until you get the true ending. The true ending is simply this. So what happens is both characters get stabbed. They learn a little bit more about each other. And there's like this final epic battle, right? So you have Garzey's Wing, the Guardian, and of course you have like the present, past versions, like communicating with each other. And because you gotta understand, the past version is like injured, the present version is still alive, but now he has the Garzey Wing, it has the powers and stuff. But it will be done in a way where he's doing this through his mind and not like in the physical, because he's just like he's in the hospital, like badly injured. Versus this demonic version. And this demonic version is unknown who he is. And some may say it could be the grandfather. It could be his father. His father who sadly died in the war, and, represents his soul pretty much burning and suffering. And he's saying, I want to know if you're the true holder of Garzey's Wing, Garzey's Wing or whatnot, because I see you as weak. You couldn't even kill your opponent. Me, the father, I'm the one who pretty much, killed. If only I was in your life, I would have raised you not be such a pussy. Something like that. So the two pretty much have a heart-to-heart. They're fighting, they're talking. And of course, main character, he beats his father and sets his soul free. And then, unironically enough, after he beats his father, he gets a phone call. And this turns out to be just a message from his father, just stating, hey, how you doing? I just want to let you know that I'll be on my way home. And sadly enough, he doesn't get to make it home, because after that phone call, the enemy soldier kills him. Yeah. That's pretty much the true ending. And the true ending also goes into, the fact that over time, he has kids and everything. And, the wife does his best to take care of him with this incurable disease. They never found a cure, even with all the advanced technology. And when the mother finally, sorry, not the mother, but, when the son, his son's mother, when he turned 5, he sadly passed away. So Garzey's wing passes on to him. So the true ending is actually pretty sad, where, he pretty much now holds the wing the Garzey wings passed on to him. The past version, is still, he can still communicate with the past self. So pretty much it's just a cycle that repeats over. And the Yakuza leader, right? The Yakuza leader, his father is killed, due to, the fact that the senior leader killed him. He's saying, you failed. I'm tired of you. You owe me all this money. And the son, right, who has a similar disease, wants to exact revenge. But he's like, you know what? I'm not only going to exact revenge on that bastard who humiliated me. I'm going to exact revenge on the Yakuza leader. You know what? He had a sinister idea. So, you know what? I'm going to work really hard in school and be part of the government. And I'm going to make that kid's life live in hell, which he does. Because as he gets older, he pretty much found his name and everything, because he never got his full name. And he says, oh, that's the disease he has. And every chance that he gets to, get a cure, he makes sure he doesn't have it. And he pretty much is the leader of the pharmaceutical company. He caused his death. So yeah, that's the true ending of my version. But yeah, hope you enjoyed that. And I shall talk to you later in VR chat.
So let's go ahead and just talk about my thoughts on this anime. Garzey's Wing. It's terrible. And it's terrible because of the following reasons. It's incoherent. It's disorganized. And there's a lot of well fleshed out ideas that are just poorly executed. What they should have focused on is past, present. They should have focused on the dynamic and the transitions between both characters. This is what's going on in the past, this is what's going on in the present. Go on in the past, going on in the present. And by doing so, it will help the audience understand of what type of story that they're dealing with. And the transition should be a lot more stylized, so that way no one is confused. Have they focused on that, this would have been great. I get what the writer and director and the artists were aiming for. They want to tell a story between two dimensions and about ability, right? Spiritual ability that pretty much allows the main character to transition between two dimensions. But the reason why this fails is because of the execution. The idea isn't bad, it's the execution that's awful. So that was the purpose of my voice recordings, just to showcase, hey, even the worst quote unquote animation shows can easily be critiqued and fixed. Even the ones that say, oh, this can't be fixed. Yeah, it can. The worst show, the worst video game, all it needs is just a competent writer, someone with lots of patience, and there you go. It's done. It's taken care of. It's not that difficult. It just takes time. It just takes patience, and it takes, a team and just a group of people that are willing to look at something and see the beauty in what the majority calls terrible. I know it's like the old saying, one man's trash, another man's treasure. It's a quote that is true throughout time and history itself. So from what I'm seeing here is a hidden masterpiece that was just utterly destroyed by incompetence. And I really don't like seeing stuff like this and honestly, just thinking about it makes me really kind of upset. Because when I look at this anime a second time, I can tell what they were aiming for. And the whole time that I was frustrated, reacting to this, VR chat, whatnot, with new friends and acquaintances and whatnot, I just couldn't believe at how much wasted potential was showcased here. We could have had more with the main character. We could have had more with the fairy, how they became friends. a lot of the characters that were talked about could have just been side characters that help boost the main character. We could have had moments where we saw not just weakness but strength, in the main character. You know, a training montage that's actually, well created. We could have had, a scene where, you know, because my version of the character is an inventor. He can come up with all of these new weapons, help prepare the soldiers war. Like, whoa, what is this? They're like, oh, this is called a bomb. This is called this, you know, because again, this is during a time period where a lot of people didn't know about this stuff. Granted, the bomb and source of it would still exist. The main character, my version, would come up with more enhanced versions of it. Not perfect, but more enhanced versions that will help them to pretty much guarantee victory. The villain should have been, talked about more. How he became a villain. What was his main motive? Was he just a kid that's just war driven because he's so angry about what happened? You know, it just seems to me, and of course, we definitely need to talk about these demons, these monsters. Are they hell spawns? Are they, also ancestral beings that are just, you know, secretly angry spirits of dead warriors from past wars? I mean, that would have been an interesting premise. But instead, what we got here is just either an anime that possibly just had a low budget and there was just not enough time to flesh out everything, or it was just pure incompetence on the writer and developer. And no disrespect to anybody that worked on this, the fact that they were able to get something out there, on the Sci-Fi Network is just incredible, and I honor that. I really do. One thing that I stated that I would stop doing after the late great Kira Toriyama passed away is that I would give everything a fair shot. So I do apologize that I was just really harsh on this anime, but it's bad. It's actually terrible. It is definitely, indeed, deserving of the worst anime ever produced. However, doesn't mean that it can't, have a cult following, which it does, and that there is an opportunity for it to be better. That's what makes me so frustrated with this supposed worst anime. Because I've seen a lot of animes that people call terrible, and I can easily just fix it. Oh, this anime about school, okay. Change this dynamic, add more depth to this bully, add more depth to this main character, make him a little bit weaker, and then gradually make him stronger. Deku, okay. State that he has an emotional instability due to the fact that his father had it. That way, the audience will be more sympathetic towards the character that cries a lot. You see what I mean? It's just simple stuff like that. And this is why I always tell people, like, when you want to get into business, study psychology and study the basics of business, and you're golden. You will be set. And that way you won't be so confused as to what goes on with everything when it comes to the creative process of, like, just whatever it is that you're watching, because you will understand the psychology behind it and you'll understand the business aspect. Well, there was a budget. Maybe it was this. Maybe it was that. Maybe it was just pure incompetence. Maybe it was just poor decision making. Maybe it was just the fact that there were certain items that were or certain stocks that were invested in that just caused the project to just fall apart. There's multiple reasons as to why something failed. It can't just be, oh, it's terrible because such and such and such. Because if you actually look at this, you can actually see some type of effort put into this. It's just they needed more time. They needed, to do more pitch meetings. They definitely need to really like take notes from other anime that was before it. Honestly, this anime has no excuse, especially when the likes of Dragon Ball, Astro Boy, and many others were before. No, Saint Seiya were before it, right? So all they had to do was just simply look at those animes, interview somebody, and just ask, "Hey, I just want to know what inspires you to do this or whatnot." Like, ask really effective questions, and that would have helped inspired this. Another thing that irritates me about this anime is the whole purpose is Garzey Wing. It's never really explained on how he got this ability, what happened, how this, the past soul, whatnot, transition into this person. It could have just been anyone. Anyone could have been the main character, but it's him. There's not a proper, training, episode where the character is shown to actually have went through a lot just to build up his strength. We don't really fully understand how his ability works. It's just so many reasons why this anime failed, and it's honestly sad. It really is sad because when you look at some of the designs, they actually look pretty cool, and the monsters actually look really nice, as Biznut stated. It's just goodness gracious. I actually don't know what happened. This is quote unquote the worst anime ever, but yet this worst anime ever has caught my attention to the point where I thought of something even better. So, oh, by the way, if they needed like a main like song for this anime, it would be this, and I'm gonna play right now. The song is called Primal, and what I would do for the anime opening is most of the imagery will explain what's happening. It will pretty much show like human evolution of war, how things are grown. And then it slowly just goes transition from the main character to the main character from the past. What they go through, what he goes through. And just sees like, past like imagery of like war, past imagery of like how flowers grow, whatnot, based on what they're doing. And then like as the music starts to get like the beats of measure start to increase, we start to see like fight scenes and whatnot. Not like sneak peeks of what to expect from the anime, but just like, hey, practicing with the sword, doing chi, meditating, and the souls intertwining towards the end. It's just, the characters like they reach out to each other like as they're sleeping. One sleeps on the bed, one sleeps on, I don't know, a wooden bed or something. They reach out, and then it's just the two hands like reaching. There's like a puddle, and then bam, and then you go, Garzey sky. That's what I would have done, honestly. I'm not saying this, oh, this is what I would have done. No, it's just me just expressing if I was a like, I wouldn't say co-owner. I would say if I was like part of the co-production of this anime, I assure you I would have done a lot more. I would have said, no, this doesn't make any sense. You have to do this over, or you need to rewrite this, or this part makes sense, this part doesn't. You need to cut this out, maybe add it as a special, maybe add it as like a deleted scene. Now I understand that based on my ideas, it may cost a little bit more, but here's the thing. As I stated before, the scenes that wouldn't be added would just be deleted scenes, and the ones that pretty much are there will be there. The simpler, the better. The simpler, the more detailed, the better, is what they should have done. Here's a simpler way they could have done this. Focus on the main characters, right? Make it a whole OVA. And towards the end, make it like the big war and stuff. And then just do that. That's it. You could literally cut out a lot of the minor characters. They could just be background characters in the war. Like have like little small talks here and there while we still get to connect with them. And there you go. There's your OVA / 3-episode anime that could have at least won something. But they just wanted to try to emulate all these other popular animes, and it just failed. It just failed so horribly. This is the worst. This is the absolute worst. And I'm honestly insulted that something like this exists, because it could have been amazing. But it's what they chose to give us. I'm disgusted, honestly. Anyway, the name of the song is called The Yellow Monkey Primal. So the band is Yellow Monkey, and the song name is Primal. And I feel like that would have been perfect. And I also thought about like this. Well, maybe we could have speeded up the song a bit. But again, since it's the 90s, there's this slow mandalic, way of how the songs are. So I feel like this pace would work. So speeding it up would not do it justice. I feel like this would be perfect. Oops, what did I do? Sorry about that. All right, so and I thought about all of this, right, in a dream. Now, granted, I will definitely use these ideas. And in my anime graphic novel in the future, I definitely want a character like this, but better written. So that's pretty much. So there you go. So that's pretty much it. Honestly, this is one of the worst animes ever, and I figured out a way to fix it. And here's the thing: when people like me do stuff like this, it's a lot. It's a lot because you know someone has to, do the hard work to decipher the original vision versus, combining somewhat of the person that's talking, commentating's vision. So that way the story makes some type of sense. So, but I did it. I fixed one of the worst animes ever. If you know of any TV show or whatnot that is absolutely terrible, if you say Food Fight, I've already done that. I'm not doing that again. If you say the Disney sequels, too easy. It's way too easy. Just get rid of some of the side characters, focus on this, and there you go. If you want to talk to me about the Mulan movie, they should have just done more research on Chinese culture or actually hired someone from China that knew a little bit more about the culture to give Chinese Americans the Mulan that they wanted. Now, a lot of people stated in China that they actually liked the terrible reboot, while us Americans stated that we don't like it because it actually is disrespectful to Chinese culture. So I don't know what Disney was thinking with that one. But hey, we have a somewhat kind of almost close, not really to Chinese culture based Mulan movie. And it's kind of decisive because according to Red Note, aka Yao Shahu, Yao Shahu, um, it's very decisive. Some like it, some don't. So I don't know. Bottom line is anything can be fixed and adjusted. It just takes time and patience. So y'all have any questions? Do you have any other ideas that could have made this supposed worst anime of all time great? Heck, I even came up, with a plot for School Days. I actually like the premise of School Days. It's just time the events, time everything that's going on. So that way we can have a better understanding of the characters. You know? Let us breathe in scenes. The problem, as you can see here, is that we don't even have a chance to breathe in scenes. It's just fight, 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 and this scene transition, and it's just bad. It's terrible. Like, yeah, it looks nice. I will give them that. The animation looks nice, but it just looks terrible, you know, you know, from a certain standpoint, even just when you look at it from first glance and you see like the transitions and when you hear the characters talk. As a matter of fact, let me just let you hear for yourself on how bad this is. I spared you, but I'm not gonna spare you anymore. enjoy while I try to respond to messages. So I'm going to take a little break as I'm responding to Discord messages, and you just all enjoy the worst anime ever. I tried.
The plan is we must crush the supply unit.
Hey, Chris, what's wrong?
I'm cold. What?
Get a taxi. We should take him home.
Yeah. Wagon unit, break!
Mm.
Attack! General, a message for General Undo Ango. At last, it's begun. Hey, you guys! Join with the main force now!
Don't stay on the horse.
Oh, there! Oh, over here!
Hey! Get up!
Oh no!
If the supply unit happens to fall, the War Beast Corps comes to a halt. But the War Beast will become wild if they come to a halt.
Has it started yet? I think it has.
May the grace of Garzey's wing be with them.
Chris, can you do it?
It's going to explode!
I'll get you, Tetsuku!
Somebody smash me out! You shit!
Garzey's wing!
What's with the
Why don't you help me?
Remember the future? Not everything turned out like we hoped. But even though robots aren't doing our laundry, we have made a few advancements. Today, almost anything you could want is right at your fingertips. Log on to the Sci-Fi Channel store now, and you'll find one of the world's biggest and best collections.
What's with the da 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 da?
Select your items, and they'll be
Oh,
delivered to your
man.
door within days. What could be easier? The Sci-Fi Channel store. A little taste of tomorrow, today.
Here's your Pop-Tart, Anthony.
And no, that's not the opening. And if it is, goodness gracious.
Are they retreating now? Are they? No, they're trying to join with the War Beast Corps, moving ahead of them.
You! You have to give Chris a ride!
Just scattering the enemy is good enough.
Hey!
Thank you.
Chris, let's get out of here.
Withdraw! The War Beasts are coming back!
Don't be greedy. Take only horses and weapons from the Ashigaba supply unit.
Yes, sir!
The War Beasts are in the canyon over there!
I understand.
Warrior Andok, we should continue on this way. It's better to let the enemy see us a little bit. Otherwise, they will go after the men who robbed their supply unit.
Banzudo is approaching. Domon! That beast will only travel in a straight line, so there's no need to be afraid of it. Falon, how many war beasts are there?
The big ones are... the small ones are...
The big one must be Daragal. She counts 5 Daragal and 20 Banduran. Is that so?
Who can trust the Falario's word?
There they are!
What? Where are they?
Where?
Whoa!
Goodness gracious.
He beat it! Great!
Wow, that was too close. The fuse and the flint worked well, Chris. Do you think I can still manage this?
He's also bruised all over his body. Did he have a fight at the pool?
He said he was just playing around with his high school friends is all.
He used to get fevers often when he was a child, especially right after he came back from his trip to America with his mom.
Is that so?
Why don't you stay here tonight?
Thank you. That is so kind of you.
Perfect!
Chris, I appreciate your ideas. Our young people also have respect for you.
I'm glad to hear that, but I feel bad. Because Garzey's wing didn't show up at a critical time, did it?
From Izumido to here, your efforts have been more than enough. I'm more concerned that we can't get you back to your own world, which would be a terrible thing if we were to fail.
Welcome back, you.
Thanks!
Falon, how was it?
This is it! Kata! See, I reconnoitered!
Good work. It's a bit small, don't you think?
It was written by a little winged Falario.
Falan, please, can't you explain it?
Me either, and I'm glad.
Okay, this is good. Hey, Aishi. Why does everyone seem to hate little winged Falario like Falon?
Well, Lord Chris, Valerio are not from our world, you see. Think back about it. When you came to our world, didn't you pass through Kustanga Hill?
I'm sorry, I don't remember that.
Asan told us that Falon turned into a good Falario after she was purified by the sound of the bell.
How about the other winged Falario?
They just curse and trick people.
I see. Lord Kitake Ras, shouldn't we separate Asan's wagon from the rest of the army?
That wouldn't be wise. You see, she strongly insisted on praying to summon Garzey's wing during the battle.
Wow, oh really?
Al Frio, on down. I found a route. They've been following us, but we raided their supplies, so now they must attack us all at once.
Should we send out reconnaissance?
No, it's already done. Now I'm making out the route on this map.
All right, I'm almost done.
Based solely on the Falario's
Almost
reconnaissance
done.
ability, Chief. It includes the ideas of this man from another world.
Oh, Frio.
Huh?
It also includes my prediction. Lord Ketakaras has made his decision.
Oh, yes, sir.
Where have you been all this time?
Hey, Leland, tell me, were you with that drifter, Giant Taurod?
Yes, I was out spying on the enemy with Taurod. Why should you care anyway?
This anime is so terrible
Here?
that it's putting my
Leland, what are you
audience to
talking
sleep.
about?
I'm just not as smart as Asan or you, Lord Chris. But Taurod was nice to me. Sechuku, emanate.
Oh, Leland, does Taurod live with monkeys?
Live with monkeys? Taurod is interesting because he is a loner. Everybody ready?
Chris, here are the arrows with Gada.
Thanks.
Be careful. What happened to the arrows with Ishibara?
Only Hendok's group has them.
Chris, Tawatson and his men are bringing up fuses on a two-wheeled cart now.
Why, it's a tank!
Your tribe does great work. Thank you for preparing so many fuses soaked in Gara.
Oh, thank you for such a clever idea. We are depending on your command now, right? Right.
Did you prepare the fuse well?
Just follow us.
Chris, now he's suddenly acting like the leader. The enemy is on the right side of the canyon! Warrior to us on advance!
Yes, sir.
Oh, they really are there! But I won't be afraid now. I will go and scout it out.
Be quiet. They will find us. Get some Ishubara.
What's up, guys? Max.
Chris! I know that the war beasts are at a different point now.
Because the war beasts are also moving. Is this the road connected to the valley down where Leland's went?
Yes!
Is the enemy on the right side of the canyon?
I think they're still there.
Hey, Damon! Let's bring Leland's group back here. Go and get them.
Yes, sir.
Prepare the fuses. Move forward. Look lively. They may come out.
The transitions were nice.
Hope we're ready.
Here they come!
Go and get them. Kill them all.
Shit, we cannot use the arrows if we try to take the enemy from the right side.
All right. We got the first group. We'll use the Daragal to fight the Matomia's main army. The Daragal group is moving slow. Make them hurry.
Yes, sir!
1,000 people Patchwork Army is not even a real threat. In fact, I can crush them all at once, right now.
I already talked about this. What do y'all want me to say? I have no. I have nothing to say.
You didn't see any war beasts?
I didn't see any war beasts.
I'm taking a break. Honestly, watching a second time, it's not that bad. Don't get me wrong, it's still awful. It's just, I don't know. It's just. Oh God.
This is going badly.
This is going badly.
He's fighting exactly as Leland said he would.
Just 2 more beasts left.
Okay, Chris, please help me now.
Foot soldiers, get back. I can't shoot the Gata arrow.
There goes the.
This ain't no Mickey Mouse. This ain't no Looney Tunes. This is anime. And it's taking America by storm. Now, you can catch the anime fever or turbocharge your current anime video collection with the best of Japanese anime 2. But be warned, the best of Japanese anime 2 ain't no kid stuff. It's animation grown up and gone wild. Call this toll-free number now and get Wrath of the Ninja delivered to your door for just $4.95 with subscription. Call now and you'll get a bonus anime video, Project Echo versus Battle 1, absolutely free. That's right, you'll get 2 fire-powered anime videos for just $4.95. This is a limited time offer of apocalyptic proportions, so call now.
Order your first Best of Japanese Animation 2 video for just $4.95 plus $3.99 shipping and receive your free anime video. Call now, 1-800-305-3767.
Ask him. You ask him. Come on, ask him. Don't look at me. It's your phone call.
Bitterman, you need to use my phone.
I'll call collect.
Make sure you dial 1-800-COLLECT, not 0. Oh, yeah. Save a big penny.
Try a buck or two, Bitterman.
How many times we got to tell you?
Okay. I'll dial 1-800-COLLECT. Which phone should I use?
How about the one in your apartment?
Hello, Mom. 1-800-COLLECT. Save a buck or two.
My neighbor works at Post on a cereal that actually keeps kids quiet. It's got brown sugar inside, frosting outside. Post frosted shredded wheat.
Oh, man!
Heard you're out.
Late night?
Sinus pain kept me up all night. Why don't you just take sinus medicine?
At night, I need something different.
Introducing Tylenol Sinus Nighttime. Relieve your worst sinus pain and pressure so you can sleep.
Morning.
New Tylenol Sinus Nighttime. It's all the relief you need.
Breast cancer is something that's not carried in our family. It doesn't run in our family.
No, there's no breast cancer in my family.
No one in my family. Breast cancer is caused by a gene. And we don't have it.
Well, I've lived this long without breast cancer. I'm sure my chances of getting it are small.
I feel that my chances are less at my age. I'm pretty sure my chances of getting it are small. I've lived this long without breast cancer.
Many women at risk for breast cancer don't know it. But by calling for this free video, you'll learn about a set of questions your doctor has that can actually predict your chances of getting breast cancer.
Why would I want to know if I'm at risk if there's nothing I can do? Well, if you're at risk when there's nothing you can do about it.
There is something you can do. Today, your doctor has ways that may help reduce your chances of getting breast cancer if you find you're at high risk. So call for this video. It's free and it's priceless. Because high risk or not, every woman owes it to herself to find out. There is something you can do.
The ocean's greatest terror, a near-perfect predator with just one flaw. It has no ears, so it won't hear your screams. Peter Benchley's The Beast, a 4-hour miniseries.
All right, I did it. Everything that I typed up.
On the Sci-Fi Channel.
All right, good.
It won't hear you.
Giant Taurod! Falan, can you fly up and look around for us, please?
In case you're wondering, yes, folks, we are close towards the end of this horrible anime that I took the time to try to fix. 30 minutes in, so we are almost there. And this will pretty much be the second time that I watch Garzey's video.
How is it that we happened to escape from the Ashigaba and survived all this way? Now it seems the Matomia's tribe may be completely destroyed.
We will never be extinct.
Use my power too!
The Matomia's tribe will not be destroyed.
It's all right, Chris. Use my power and energy all you want. That's what it's there for.
Were you here? Thank you.
It's all right. How do you feel?
The dizziness and exhaustion have disappeared.
That's good. The Chris over there is all right?
He's using up all my energy. But I'm sure the other Chris is all right.
Then I want you to take all the energy that you need from me.
They cannot destroy our tribe by military strength. We were all brought together by the great Baraju tree, and by you too, Chris.
Asan is talking to me by using her telepathy. Pharaoh Kreese, you weren't attacked?
Because of of Chris's group, we were able to retreat. They will be sending the Daragal next.
Is that the giant dinosaur I saw at the palace in Izumito?
Yes, it's tough. Valence! Did Giant Taurod help you?
Yeah, but he was just doing it for the money.
Happy
Why doesn't he
birthday
send
to
his
you.
services to the Ashigaba
Happy
army,
birthday
There are
to
many
you.
people who don't like
Happy
the
birthday,
Ashigaba
happy
tribe.
birthday, happy birthday to you. Happy
This giant, his
birthday
face
to
seems
you.
familiar to me.
Happy
His face has the
birthday to you.
distinctive look of an
Happy
heroic
birthday,
fighting
happy
before.
birthday, happy
Hassan-san.
birthday to you. You're finally 18.
Please go.
Woo!
The battle will be starting soon.
Don't worry about me. I'll be all right, but I am anxious to see you become Garzey's wing right away.
Oh, Mrs. San, we will go first.
Treat the wounded people the way I taught you.
Yes, may you be victorious, holy warrior.
Thanks, Aishi and Tuns. Do your best.
I cannot even make a working earthen bell. I feel as though my powers may also be weak. I will force myself to at least help carry the fuses. This I must do.
Mrs. San.
I want to be close to you when I ring the bell.
Oh, wow! There they are! 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, what? Whoa! Whoa! Stop it! Hey, let me go!
Absolute
Why is the
garbage.
Valerio flying here, I wonder? The advance party was beaten quickly. What kind of tribe are they? Sending a little Valerio to do a reconnaissance? Hey, let's rip her legs apart.
Let me go!
Just let me try.
Damn you! I'll get you! Don't do it! Don't touch me! Get away! Ah! Bastard! Ah!
Hey, wait! Huh? It's too late for them anyway. Go!
Wow, that was the biggest. You are the most irrelevant character in the history-based scene I've ever witnessed. Get away from me! Yeah, you're not important. It would have been funny if he just smacked her on the ground. That would have been even more hilarious, but yeah, this is good.
Which one?
Lord Chris, I want you to take the enemy on the left.
Yes.
All right, deploy the fuses in the gutter now. Troops, have the foot soldiers climb the cliffs.
They are coming from this canyon!
Here they come! Top! From the top! And from the canyon, too! Skada has no effect on armor plate! Falon! Where the hell is Giant Taurod? Huh? He's setting up his foothold on the battlefield right now! Follow me!
What's that?
Why hasn't Garzey's wing appeared yet?
Now, see, that right there would have been a great, way to continue the last episode. What happened to, Garzey's wing? Why? How come it's not appearing? I don't understand. Like, I really need this to win. That could have actually worked. That right there could have actually worked. But unfortunately, it was never well executed. Hang on, I'm going to mute myself real quick. We're almost done, folks. We're almost done. We got this. We can do it. We can survive. I definitely could use some cheese conies right now.
Chris, did you fly?
I sure as heck didn't see Garzey's wing.
I wouldn't suppose that you guys have a trampoline.
Oh, it's a defective drum.
What are you using that for? You don't know about this? I see.
Hey, Leland,
What were you doing?
Oh, someone responded.
Get back! Damn! I wonder if Giant Tow Rod disappeared from there.
Light the fuse, Chifty! Ah!
it's been ignited.
Oh! Go for it!
Delmon!
Damn you!
All right, Domon, Leland, next target!
Chris!
I got it, okay!
Also, if it's anyone's birthday today, let me know. It's Void's birthday. They've now finally turned 18, and after this, I want to do like a special tribute to all the 17-year-olds this year turning 18.
The cavalry on the left is huge. Scatter them.
One scene that we was able to breathe in. One. That is unreal.
Warriors, stop the enemy.
Use the gutter! You're afraid of the explosion, we will all die!
Where is Chris? Couldn't he become the Holy Warrior?
The Archer Group, what are you doing?
Please give Chris power. Oh, where is he now?
Stand up, hey you damn horse! The enemy leader is the one on the Daragal. He's going after our main force.
What? And how is it that he all of a sudden knows how to ride a horse? I'm so lost.
The Daragal is trying to get her.
Aha, I found it. Their precious maiden must be in the wagon.
I will chase it.
Crush it now.
The Bonduran is closing behind you.
Shit, I'm foolish. Drifter Tow Rod left me. What am I doing? Chris cares for Hassan because she keeps the bells. But I got jealous and relied on Tow Rod. But I still feel jealous. Saving our tribe is the most important thing now.
Do you think you're safe now? I will get you, you fake maiden. Ha!
Wow, it's on fire!
I did it!
She'll be all right.
There they are! Banduran! Kill the maiden of the Matomia's tribe!
Oh God. Ah, this is bad. Oh, this is bad.
Be strong. I'm here. Use my
Think
energy too. That's good. Take a deep breath.
Why the heck this show's
And I
not
do a lot of
working?
research on the web.
That's
So
what
I
I'm
wanted,
thinking.
what I
It's
really
sick.
had to have was a powerful desktop computer. Then someone told me about Dell. I got on the internet. Dell built the
Weird.
desktop.
It should show them on
This
the.
directly actually costs less.
Oh.
Okay, so I don't always use it for
Dang it.
research.
Order a Dell Dimension desktop during the Dell School Sensation Sweepstakes, and you could win 2 new computers over the next 4 years, plus $10,000 for tuition. This
Sick.
Dimension desktop comes with an Intel Celeron processor at 400 megahertz. Everything you see here, plus DellNet Internet access for 1 year, and Dell's
Excuse me.
24-hour tech support, all for only $959. Visit our website by September 25th and order your Dell Dimension with Intel Celeron processor, and you'll be entered into our sweepstakes. There's one winner every day for 42 days.
That's cool.
Be direct. Dell.
Izzy, this cold. I'm so stuffed up. Feels like I'm underwater too.
Ew. Ew.
The sneezing and coughing can last all night. My eyes won't shut either.
I think I got enough to give this up.
What?
I think I got enough to give this up. It's not enough. It's not enough. I think I got enough to give this up. It's not enough.
Don't look.
NyQuil, the nighttime sniffling, sneezing, coughing, aching, stuffy head fever so you can rest and have a good morning medicine.
I think I got enough to give this up. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I think I got enough to give this up and get paid next week. I'm doing such a great job with managing my money.
It has the same germ-killing power as regular Listerine, plus helps fight tartar.
Do not use Listerine. Listerine works, but it's not the best mouthwash. Use Act. Act mouthwash is better. It actually kills the germs. This actually kills all. Now, you know, not only the bad germs, but the good germs that are needed for your mouth. Yikes. You know, the germs that help fight off disease in your body. Yeah. Yeah. So be very careful. I got too many. But yeah, make sure y'all check out Mon. They're a sweet bean. And if you can, give them a sub. No, not sub. Sounds like an actual sub. All right, here we go. We're almost done, folks. We're almost at the home stretch. Just hang in there. We're almost done. We're almost done.
I brought the worn out drum. Thank you. Where is Doman? Where is Leland?
What is it? What the? Who the hell is that?
This heavy breath. Oh yeah, and his wings just comes out of nowhere. You know, that suspenseful moment of, hey, what happened to the wings? Oh, they're back? Okay, let's do this now. Hey, let's just do this now. Also, if y'all haven't already, check out Hero Corgi too. Can't forget about her. Okay, all right. That's enough of the shout outs. Oh god, man, this is terrible. I'm trying to keep a straight face for an hour and I couldn't do it. When I heard the yeah, I was like, nope, I'm done. I can't. I was like, yeah! Oh god, this is terrible. Yeah.
Oh, please save him! Oh, please save him! Who are you?
Leland, thank you. And for Hassan's bells. And prayers. And Rumiko's energy. all of which were so indispensable to me.
Holy warrior, vanquish the enemy leader by plunging your sword.
Stabbing? Should I do that?
But of course, because you are the one who defeated him and broke his legs.
Can't somebody else do it?
It's your right to finish him.
There are profound traditions to be followed. If you don't act bravely, you are insulting your dying enemy. And so, by vanquishing him, it will help to bring our tribe together.
But I don't know how to do it.
Stand to the left of the enemy general, if you please. That's right. Hold the sword backhand and stab through the heart with one stroke.
I'm going to have to do this to live in this world?
Right here. If you hesitate too much, Garzey's wing's power will fade out too. Stab hard enough to make your sword's point touch the ground.
You can do it now, Chris.
Where is Lord Chris, Holy Warrior?
Did Garzey's wing appear for Lord Chris? He was very brave. Where is Chris? He will come later.
Oh no! I'm going!
Oh God, what a weak man. I should have let Asan have him. He isn't worthy of me.
Leland, are you going to wait?
Ha-ha! You must be joking!
I'd like to go too. Can I go? Oh no!
I'm not sure. He's just a human. Humans are just human. They come into this life filled with dreams and aspirations. They want it all and try to use the power of the universe, the earth, and the power of the spirits.
You are right. Therefore, we continue looking for the great Baraju tree.
We will continue looking. But what is to your dissatisfaction, my king?
It is satisfactory, Sir Fedegris.
Is that the Baraju tree?
Oh,
yeah, it
oh, excuse me.
The wing! Why, it's Garzey's wing!
Oh, God. And yes, it is over. You will be correct. Wait, that's it? Yes, that's it. Everybody sing along. Oh, For my group event, I am literally going to make a movie night where we're all going to watch Garzey's guy, and then afterwards we're going to talk about how we can make it a much better anime. Well, And that was Garzey's wing. I've already talked about it. And I'm not going to talk about it again. But I want to make this a tradition. Because, listen, I remember when I stated that I want to do something for a group event where you have to watch the Joker 2019 with me all day without, like, taking a lot of breaks. I still want to do something like that because I freaking love Joker, 2019. One of my all-time favorite Jokers. But now, I definitely want to add this. You know what? I want to do this. I want to do this right now. I'm actually going to host an event for my group. My old group, not the group, not the pause group, but my old group. I'm actually going to do this right now. It's gonna be great, and this is perfect because this is definitely give me an excuse to get my room straightened out. Just trying to find. Now, as I promised, there is a special surprise that I do have for you all. I was not lying about that. So let me just find a good YouTube to MP4 converter real quick. Not this one. This one's trash. This one. It's so hard to find a good YouTube MP4 converter these days. Oh, found one. There we go. I found one. And they're all of horrible quality. I say the worse quality, the better. Well, that's... Hang on. It says MP4, but I don't see it. It's weird. Give me a moment. Oh, I found one. And it's 450 megabytes. Cheese and rice, man. Let's put this. Worst anime ever? Question mark. But is Garzey, Sky, the worst anime ever? I'm gonna hit y'all with a resounding no. The worst anime ever is actually not Garzey Sky. No. The worst anime ever is actually... I'm trying to find it real quick. Anime by... Anime made. I'm trying to find it. All Crunchyroll originals. I'm trying to find it. X-Arm, yes! No. So to those that keep saying no, no. The worst anime ever is Garzey Sky. You would be wrong. And I am insulted that you even dare state that. The worst anime of all time goes to X-Arm. This anime is actually bad. There's nothing funny about it. There's nothing good about it. There's no redeeming qualities about it. Yes, it can be fixed. It would just take a lot of work. But no, X-Arm is actually worse. Yeah. Yeah. Try to top that. That anime right there is terrible. You can't beat that anime. It's bad because you have no idea what's happening. The manga is even worse. At least maybe with Garzey Sky, the manga could actually be its saving grace. Here, it's just terrible. Terrible writing and terrible anime. Right now, I'm hungry again. I should share this with Fi. Oh, hey, Fi, you want to see the greatest anime of all time? No, I'm not gonna do that. She's really nice to me. I'm not gonna do that to her. I'm not gonna do that to her. Ah. Oh, this anime is bad. Alright, gotta. Transitions are nice. Man. Okay, give me a moment. I just gotta get rid of a lot of things. Okay, that's done downloading. Thank you. Okay, here. I'm here. And now I can finally use my 2,000 points. Oh man, my computer's a mess. Alright, just gotta make sure I don't have too many. I have way too many. Oh, that's right, because I want to listen to Trippy Red. I want to watch that. I was listening to that. I don't like having a lot of things. I have to keep that up. Okay. Cool. Alrighty, so also this is my bunny version of my pony Sona. So it's like my hybrid. But yeah, here's the special surprise that I want to share with you all. And I think you all are gonna love it. Oh. What happened? Oh, it's like it went off. I was like, "Oh snap! What happened? Did I piss? Did I? Sorry, not piss. Did I irritate the YouTube gods? Because that would be terrible if I did." Meeting? No, I need to go to a meeting. Yikes! Ah. All right, let me go ahead and do this real quick. All right, and so here we go. Here's the special surprise. Bam! Look at that. So there is the next version of my pony Sona, which is the Time Reaper. So there's like a new chapter of my character where, after all what he's went through in the past, yada yada yada, and pretty much making a deal with the Grim Reaper and everything, because he's sick and tired of hearing about death and whatnot, and Getchi, my main character, is pretty much told him like, no, don't do that. I made that same mistake and yada yada yada. So this is his version, and he should be done. I'm not sure when he's gonna be done. I'm actually gonna talk to Daniel about that to say, hey, I just want to know when he's gonna be done so I can put them together. So yeah. I'm really happy with how this turned out. So great job, Daniel. Really love your work. But yeah, worst anime ever. Also, let's talk about the cover art for worst anime ever. Honestly, I like it, but I would definitely change it up a bit where it's just the wings and the faces. It would just be the wings, the faces. I'll get rid of all this silly text. and that's it. Garzey sky being the sky, and it'd be translucent like the face and the wings. It's like the hands touching. It's just like the wings, but it's like by the ankles. So that would have been nice. But that's something I would have came up with. Just something I would do. Alrighty. So I guess that's pretty much it. I want to play games and everything, but I'm already like just not worn out, but just like just, I don't know what I witnessed and watched. Jeremy, Cable, and to everyone else that stopped by, thank you very much. I did play Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, you know, just for reminiscence reasons. You know, my grandma and whatnot, because she did, pass. You already know. I'll have to keep repeating myself. And trust me, it's terrible. It's honestly really terrible. There's no saving that game. And I've seen a video, just side topic. I've seen a video of someone talking about multiverses can be saved. I have no words. I'm not going to say anything. And I will keep my mouth shut. That's all I'm going to say. I have no words. And I will keep my mouth shut. Because at this point, it's just like, how many times do we have to, teach you this lesson, old man? Like, sheesh. How many times gotta teach you this lesson? Stop it. Okay. I think that's pretty much it, folks. But I'm gonna go ahead and do an event on VR chat and see who shows up. All right, because I freaking love, freaking freak. Ooh, the photo play. Ooh, wait. Oh, never mind. I was just really excited. Like, ooh, a new character. Because sometimes when you check on Rivals of Aether, there's like new characters. You can now play as Wallace, and ooh, you can play as Nidra, who is from them fighting herds. A dark version of Ronald McDonald. Okay, I really need to. You can now play as the McDonald's employee. This game, man. I really need to play this game more. I think I'm gonna do that. We got Annie Bell, Shingo Yagami. All right. Wait, big science guy. Hold on. Oh my goodness, Explosion Man. I haven't played that game. Okay, all right. That concludes the stream. Thank y'all so much for stopping by. I may stream a little bit later on, either today or tomorrow. Check out my Instagram. Check out my Yashahu. Check out my Clapper. And definitely check out my Trovo, because my Trovo is very lonely. And we don't want to abandon Trovo, because Trovo is actually a pretty nice alternative. Unlike, excuse me. No, from what I've learned is that Kick has somewhat resolved the issue with the child gambling, situation. And of course, there are certain apps like Roblox that are being investigated because of anything deal with the exploitation of children, which I'm for. Hey, that's going on. That needs to be checked. I wonder if VR chat's next. Oh, the irony. Oh, the irony. And maybe once that happens and, they finally go through all of that, perhaps they will take the whole make VR chat 18 plus only, ordeal pretty seriously. Who knows? Anywho, I'm gonna go eat, drink some water, and I can't believe I'm saying this. Go watch Garzey Garzey Wing, and talk about and review and study as to why this is possibly one of the worst animes ever. It could have been a good anime, but it was just marred with nonsense. All right, have a good one. And whoops, I forgot my outro. Let me go ahead and add my outro. Yeah, I'm adding my outro intro back. I can't believe I forgot to show y'all this stuff. Like, I still have it. I just keep forgetting about it. Oh, there we go.
To keep this dream alive, I know I must be a symbol of hope. I am the one.
Reinvent till you bleed and always ask why.
Not gonna lie, I think it's time for me to get a new intro and outro. We'll see. Anyway, take care, be safe, and I shall talk to y'all later. Play Big Helmet Heroes and Castle Crashers. I just remembered. I was supposed to have additional I was supposed to have like additional poses for the Castle Crasher, but oh well, it's all good. No worries. It's fine. I actually need to put that character together before I get on the VR chat. I will do that then. All right. See y'all. And